Prime Minister Justin Trudeau made a visit here to City Hall today for a meeting with Toronto Mayor Tory. Gun control was one of the key topics given the spike in violence the city has seen this summer. Now, Mayor Tory has long been calling for a ban on handguns, but Trudeau would not agree or commit to whether or not he would agree to one.
Hey, good morning. How are you doing? Welcome.
The two politicians were friendly with each other and seemed to be in agreement on how to tackle gun violence going forward.
We have to address the root causes of gun violence and get much tougher with criminals who often laugh at things, literally laugh at things like bail and sentencing practices.
Recent shootings have underscored the need for common sense firearms policy. Too many families have had loved ones taken away. We need action. But Mayor Tory and I agree that we can't simply arrest our way out of this problem.
But it's not clear if they agree on a handgun ban. The mayor has been calling for one since last summer after a rash of violence, including the shooting of two young girls in a playground. City Council voted in favor of a handgun ban weeks later after the deadly shooting on the Danforth. A handgun ban has been contemplated by the federal Liberals. Minister Bill Blair, Toronto's former chief of police, has been studying one, but Justin Trudeau won't say if a ban will be in his election platform.
As for what's in our platform, I very much look forward to the election campaign in which we will be able to share with Canadians our vision for how to keep Canadians more safe, keep Canadians safer. And that involves, yes, strengthening gun control, but it also involves investments that John has pointed out.
The mayor is also calling for more community investment. Toronto has had the most shootings ever recorded in 1 month this summer. And during the August long weekend alone, there were 14 separate shootings. Neither politician gave any specifics on money or solutions. Now, of course, an election is looming, and Justin Trudeau took the opportunity to slam his main rival, saying Andrew Scheer would reverse Liberal gun control initiatives. Now, Trudeau also continued with his strategy of trying to tie Doug Ford, an unpopular premier, with his Conservative federal cousin, Andrew Scheer. And coming up, I'll tell you how many times Trudeau tried to invoke a negative image of Premier Doug Ford. As I told you earlier in the show, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau came here to City Hall today for a meeting with Mayor Tory. The key topic, gun control, given the spike in violence this summer. Now, an election, though, is looming, and the Prime Minister used this as an opportunity to slam Doug Ford, part of his election strategy to tie the unpopular premier with his federal cousin, Andrew Scheer. We counted. Trudeau slammed Doug Ford 9 times.
Conservative politicians say they're for the people, but then they end up cutting taxes for the wealthy and cutting services for everyone else. And what Ontarians have lived through in terms of the cuts to services and the tax breaks for the wealthy by Doug Ford.
As Premier Ford continues to reduce the services on which Ontarians depend.
Infrastructure investments where indeed the province is not moving forward in as positive a way as citizens deserve.
Are you running against Andrew Scheer or Doug Ford? Because it seems much of your attention is given to Doug Ford.
I think one of the things we've seen with Conservative politicians in general, and Andrew Scheer has certainly indicated this, they make commitments when they're trying to get elected as party leader, whether it was Andrew Scheer's promises on balancing the budget. Then when they're asking everyone for their votes, they back off on. We've seen time and time again what happens when Conservative governments get elected.
Now, as part of his criticisms against Ford, Trudeau repeatedly maintained that the provincial government is stalling on funding for a new, much-needed community centre in Lawrence Heights, where many shootings have taken place this summer. The government is denying that, though. A Ford spokesperson says that the funding stream doesn't open until September, and the city can then put forward a proposal for the community centre. Now, the Premier was not invited to today's meeting. The Mayor says it was not a snub. He is simply inviting each federal leader to come for a chat before the election.